So, I'm here in Artist Alley with Yanick Paquette,
Hello.
who is currently working on the Wonder Woman graphic novel written by Grant Morrison.
Yeah, I'm still on it. So, yeah, people that thought maybe I was dead or whatever, it's still going on. It's a huge project and it's a work in progress too. And yeah, we haven't changed the intention of it, but it fluctuates through time. And one of my, I'm reaching a point of the story now where I got to have Wonder Woman interact with reality. And the aspect I want to bring forward, graphically at least, is to show as many ways as possible to be beautiful with diversity of body types.
Yes.
It is, as I look at what's going on in the industry and in the media, there is every week you got your scandal about the image of woman in comic. And to me, I just feel it's wonderful. There is a wind of change in comic, but also in other in movies and music. And yeah, and our Wonder Woman and the statement that we're gonna do is the timing seems just perfect.
Yeah.
I'm from Montreal, so I'm coming in with a different culture, different value, and I've always thought, at least, because Grant has his agenda, I have my agenda. It's pretty much the same thing, but I can only talk for me.
Yes.
in that aspect. But to me, Wonder Woman is a perfect mouthpiece to trying to redefine a much more positive feminism that will include sexuality. In my part of the world, women are empowered with their own sexuality, and so there is different way of being. You don't have to choose between being the Virgin Mary, mother, loving figure, and the whore on the other side of the spectrum. It's all right to profess a sexual appetite without being totally judged as, that's unacceptable. I've been telling that well, it's an example. We're not gonna do that in the comic, but I love to bring forth the character of Tony Stark. That without any shame we'll sleep with like top models left and right. They're both satisfied. I mean, top models, Tony Stark is cool, and there are top models, so Tony Stark likes it and everything. We don't judge that thing. But if you would just reverse the genre, just for the intellectual fun of it, you'll find out that it is suddenly unacceptable for the culture that Wonder Woman would just, I mean, she's Wonder Woman, she can get top model guy, I mean, a different one every night to the satisfaction of both parties, I'm sure. And but would that be acceptable?
Yeah, so it's very much about equality and representation and roles and role reversals.
Yeah, as the feminists of the 60s managed to bring forth change and equality on many grounds, in the workplace, in political, and there's still a lot of work to do. One place that we see a huge gap in terms of the judging is the sexuality for men and sexuality for women. I was watching, I'm just talking about all sorts of things. I was watching a documentary on animals. It was like this bird, female bird, and that guy bird, like beautiful plumage, trying to charm that lady. But all the dialogue was like, and suddenly the guy does this thing, and she surrender her charm to her, to the male bird. And obviously that's the male bird that does all the, she's just judging him. But socially, the narrative of it got changed into like she has to give up something precious to that male. But this is only culture. I don't know if I'm clear now, but this is really just the culture of judging female sexuality as something to give. But she actually take the male.
It's about the different nuances of give and take and equality and power and the transfer of power between the two.
I feel like the absolute woman that is Wonder Woman should be allowed to be empowered by our own sexuality. Like guys are allowed to do so without being judged. A healthy sexuality where nothing is wrong with it. And yeah, it's not something to be judged. I mean, sexuality is universal. It's beautiful. There's nothing wrong. So this and yeah, this diversity of body types, which is probably the problem now in comics. It is true that if you look at comics, all women, they're like super top models and stuff. And it's probably true for the superheroine. Like Wonder Woman, I don't see her looking anything less than absolutely amazing in all point. The problem is that when she evolved in a world where they all look the same, now you get a problem because it sends the message that this is one way to be a woman. You look like Wonder Woman, which is not what it is really. Wonder Woman is a god, so there's no reason to compete with it. And the reason why is I think a lot of the artists, they're grown up learning a certain type of anatomy, and it's the super heroic figure. So guys are like super cut, female anatomy, they're like very typical, but then they don't really go forward and learn other type of people. So they'll dress like people walking the street, like top models, or not dress, but they will build the anatomy of it.
So you're going to make everything
unless they do like
diverse.
super fat people, and then it's just ridiculous.
Yep.
But there's nothing in between, and I know a lot of guy and girls which doesn't fit these absolutely extreme icons of beauty that we do vehicle, and they are absolutely beautiful anyway.
Yep.
So I tried to put them in the Wonder Woman stuff, and I discovered that it just makes Wonder Woman more amazingly alien in these comics. She's still beautiful, but now she looks alien because she's impossible almost.
Yeah,
right?
she's a god basically. She's walking amongst people.
Yep.
Yep. So, words to live by. Really looking forward to the book when it finally comes out. We don't know when yet. Thanks very much, Yanick Paquette.
All right.